Yes, my people, welcome back to another episode of Navvai Shift, where we speak with leaders shaping the future of enterprise, tech, AI, and growth. So today, I'm joining Matt Hill, SVP International at Copado, the DevOps platform purpose-built for Salesforce Enterprise. So nearly 30 years in software, from developers to senior leadership on both the vendor and enterprise sides, Matt has lived every wave of transformation. But Matt, how you doing?
I'm really well. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Nah, no problem. Great to have you. It's our pleasure for sure. So Matt, let's start with your journey and why Copado is such a natural fit.
Yeah, so my journey in my career, I've been around software for all of my life. I did a computer science degree, and I think my first role was in a very small IT department within an engineering company that had just moved to having desktops on people's desks, and internet was not even a thing at that stage for the business world. That was. But yeah, it's my journey. I started off in the IT world, and then moved over to the software vendor world approximately 13 years ago. So I've had that opportunity to work on both sides of the fence, I suppose, when it comes to software, in particular enterprise software. But no, it's been a great journey, and I think we're in exciting times with the next huge step change that is going on in everyone's technology world, which is AI. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, nice. I would imagine you've seen quite a lot of transitions from when you started and of course till now. And I feel like there's gonna be like another like sort of change coming. But what are like the 1 to 2 moments in your career that most shaped how you lead today?
Yeah, so I think just like technology itself, technology is always adapting and evolving and getting better with each day. And I'm a big believer that change is a norm, and obviously adopting and adapting change is a big part of embracing the benefits and the value of technology. Either if that's on a vendor side in terms of providing a service or obviously a software to your customers and actually realizing the value of it, but also in my early days where we were looking to use technology to improve on processes and services and products within the organization that I was at the time, that embracing change is a big part of obviously getting the value out of technology.
Yeah, no, definitely, I completely agree with you for sure. So Matt, as you just mentioned before, you've been on both sides of the fence. So what do vendors often misunderstand about enterprise realities and vice versa?
Enterprise realities. So I think when it comes to software, obviously software has evolved a lot in the last 25 years, and how software has been able to automate a lot of processes, capabilities within organizations. That advancement obviously requires a lot of leadership in driving those changes. And you can see that in a lot of the step changes in technology has made in not only society but also within companies that obviously operate at enterprise level. If you look at, like, for example, when cloud computing took hold and obviously transformed the way that software is provided to global organizations or even local organizations, right through to the use of smartphones and social media, all these big technology step changes have really kind of made a big impact to organizations, but also society as a whole. So I think a lot of large organizations are agents of change, and but yeah, I think how software can be applied, technology, and obviously the hardware that supports it. But I'm a big proponent that obviously software is the valuable component when it comes to making a real impact.
No, nice. And I just want to stick on the topic in relations to change. But where do you see like the biggest mindset shift required for modern DevOps in the Salesforce ecosystem?
Yeah, so with our platform, and just to briefly give you an overview of what we do, we provide a DevOps platform for enterprise Salesforce customers. So these are enterprise companies, global companies, most often global companies that have strategically put Salesforce, in particular, at the front office level within their organizations to drive obviously their business, either in their sales organization, service organization, marketing, supply chain, whatever that industry is, and obviously the components that make up their organization. Salesforce has been very successful in providing that full end-to-end platform for the front office business in particular. So our platform enables these organizations to innovate at scale. So if you think of some of the large organizations that have tens of thousands, and in some cases I've seen platforms that service more than 100,000 people, to operate that at scale at a global level is quite complicated. So the ability to innovate fast without avoiding risk, obviously from a security perspective, but also from an innovation perspective, is key. So what we do is we enable those enterprise customers to innovate much faster so that they can get that competitive edge, so they can bring that product to market faster, so that they can really kind of drive a lot of the change that they're driving their business through their platform, and obviously Salesforce being a big part of that.
100%, yeah.
Of course. Matt, I was gonna ask, can you give me like a before and after story of what typically changes in the first 90 to 120 days once working with Copado for a business?
Yeah, so typically a lot of customers that come to us, they are really struggling in a few different areas. One, they can't innovate and release changes frequently. So often they come to us where they really struggle to do more than a release a month. In some cases, it could be more frequent, but it's typically around that area. So what that means is that there's a backlog of changes that are coming from the business that are not making it to the front line that needs these products or these processes, whatever that innovation that's required by the business in the hands of their users. So that's a big part. But another big part is a lot of their processes to deliver that innovation is really manual and takes a lot of human intervention and steps to make that happen, which can introduce human error, can introduce delays or releases that don't happen on time, which in some cases with some customers, they operate at a level where they're working weekends and late nights, and it's a real from a morale perspective, it's really hard to maintain when you're constantly battling to get releases to the business. So typically with our solution, the first focus is really kind of removing a lot of those manual steps and automating a lot of the capability to get that idea or that requirement from the business into their production environment so that the users are now taking advantage of that innovation. So a lot of that capability of transforming that team, obviously the processes that they use is really the focus in the first 90 days. Once they've obviously adapted the change and they understand the ability to automate a lot of those capabilities, then it's all about how can we actually release more frequently to the business. And a lot of our customers get to a position where they're releasing more than once a day. So that releasing that change to the front line of people. It could be salespeople, it could be supply chain people, it could be people in the field. Having that capability to do that really on demand is the real big impact to the efficiencies of the business, but the competitiveness of that organization, but also in a lot of ways cost savings, but also revenue opportunities as well. So it does have a big downstream effect of getting that innovation much more frequently to their business.
Yeah, no, nice take. Look, I wanted to ask, how do you help teams balance speed and compliance?
Yeah, so it's a challenge, and obviously technology is a part of that. Obviously, people and process are another big part of that. When you think about the analogy, if you're running faster, you're more likely to fall over or risk falling over. That's the same when it comes to DevOps as well. If you're working at a higher pace, then the opportunity to have obviously miscompliance around any particular, let's say, code that could be vulnerable, or it could be quality that could be reduced because of the testing is not having the right coverage or the right strategy to actually operate at scale is important as well. So we believe obviously the security and quality is just as important as speed. So having those testing capabilities and those compliance capabilities that can also operate at speed is real importance to obviously maintaining those goals of providing that innovation much faster to the business. So in our world, we have a lot of automation capabilities around testing, around task automation, around compliance, and actually making sure that people have access to the right things to do their job. But more importantly, the vulnerabilities of code and the vulnerabilities of access within the platforms that they're maintaining is also key as well. So yeah, automation could open the doors to vulnerabilities, but with speed, you need to think of security and quality in the same.
Nice, 100%. And just in relations to like talent when it comes to like DevOps, how do you spot someone or try and find out someone is a good quality developer?
So I think within the Salesforce world and the Salesforce ecosystem, there is a passion for Salesforce, and I think why Salesforce has been a big leader in enterprise SaaS technology is that its enthusiasm around how technology can make a real impact to the business or the end users of the solution. So a lot of that passion around Salesforce and in particular their Trailblazer community that they've built over many years, those people are driven to learn more about those capabilities of the platform. So what I mean by that, across all the Salesforce clouds that exist within the Salesforce ecosystem, the ability to self-certify and maintain that level of knowledge and capabilities that is constantly evolving and changing for the platform, those people that take advantage of that and drive to maintain that level of knowledge and skills is a big part of their success. So if you look across a lot of the ecosystem, you see a big following of people that do that. In the DevOps world, that's the same with Copado. So Copado has a lot of learning capabilities for within DevOps, not only in development but also in low code, no code capabilities of obviously Salesforce administration, for example. Having that drive to maintain that knowledge and maintain that capability is also a big part of that as well. So having people having that discipline to actually maintain that knowledge and skill is a big part of that success. And also I think the wider ecosystem allows that and encourages it. So it's really kind of fuels not only the innovation on the platform, but it also fuels the skill set that's required to really kind of innovate at scale.
Yeah, and I guess it definitely sounds like it's a continuous learning process as well, and it's kind of you've built a culture and
It is.
environment that gives people that passion to want to continuously learn and develop their skills. So,
It
and
is.
also, Matt, I was going to ask as well, what would you say is one of the most underrated levers for productivity in Salesforce DevOps right now?
So I think in the last, and I've been around the Salesforce ecosystem for around about 13 odd years, or actually, no, it's close to, actually, it's over 14 years now, close to 15. But the, the biggest change that's going on at the moment is how AI can augment the people in the delivery of innovation on the Salesforce platform. We, Copado ourselves, have invested a lot of resources and really kind of capabilities, not only for ourselves as an organization, but also in our solutions around how AI can augment the people in those roles, and that could be anyone from a business analyst that is, or product manager that's taking those requirements from the business and pulling it into the pipeline to deliver that innovation, right through to the developers and the testers and the people that are responsible for getting that release out into a production environment. We've been on an AI journey within Copado for well over 3.5 years now, and I think around about the same time where generative AI was taking off, and OpenAI was obviously becoming known to everyone, when a little time earlier that you wouldn't even know what they did. But generative AI, we really saw that as an opportunity um, to really kind of help understand how we could actually enable our customers and partners to innovate at a much higher level. Um, we, as an organization, really took an AI first approach. And so, what do we mean by that? How can we use AI in every corner of our business so we can truly understand the value not only of what AI can do, but also the future capabilities? Because in the last 3 years, AI, the pace of innovation for AI has moved incredibly fast,
Mm.
and I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. So for us, it was, how can we bring it into every role that we have within the organization? And then what we did is we looked at how we can solve some of the problems that we had within our organization internally, but also in how we service our customers. So one of the first areas that we focused on was looking at how AI can help supplement our support process with our customers, not only with our support people, but also the support the people within our community that needed that first line support around, well, what is this error, or how come I can't do this? It's that first level, and that saw a big impact in terms of not only support cases to our business, but the knowledge of obviously getting out into the community as well. So that was our first step, and then through many different versions and beta versions of our own AI solution, we launched our own agents in September of last year. And we've seen a great sort of enthusiasm for what AI can do in terms of augmenting the delivery of innovation. But I think not only has it seen an impact to time and quality in the delivery, but the amazing thing is, which I've experienced firsthand when talking with partners and customers using AI or our AI agents, is their ability to be more creative, their ability to remove a lot of maybe the technical debt that had held them back, or the time pressures that they were under. That agents, the use of AI agents have really driven another level of creativity alongside more efficiency and higher quality output. So it has been exciting, but we're learning all every day.
Yeah, 100%. That's like us as well. I definitely think the businesses that are going to be ahead of the curve, that are utilizing artificial intelligence, the ones that are passionate and the ones that are using it with speed and the ones that are trusting artificial intelligence will definitely be further down the line in terms of like just being in a better position versus their competitors. So yeah,
Yes.
that's hence how we have spotted a gap in the market at Navvai, push this and ram this down their throat to let them know that, listen, this is where you need to be. Because it's almost like being in like 2008, right? And some people saying, I've got a lifeline, I've got a gold investment, you need to invest in it now. But we got artificial intelligence. This is what you need in your business to be ahead. And that's a similar position to where you are.
I agree. And I very much agree with you that the organizations that take an early AI first mentality, I think will be the makers of the AI world. And their ability to adopt, because I think the biggest challenge that AI has at the moment, in particular in all large organizations, is change. Change, obviously, a lot of people don't like change, in particular to themselves. And in my experience, the best change agent is leadership, and the ability for leaders from the CEO down, their ability to not only adopt but also show and through storytelling and obviously be actionable, and so they can see that how AI is being used at a higher level within an organization will drive that change and that adoption and the ability to take advantage of what AI can provide to the role or to the organization. I think change is the biggest speed radar to how fast AI can be adopted by these organizations. So it is very much a change mentality that a lot of leaders need to take on if they want to be an early adopter and obviously be an AI first company.
Yeah, Matt, I was gonna ask, why do you think a lot of leaders, especially within the finance space, are still a little bit hesitant to adopt AI, or not looking to actually, that's not their core focus or priority in today's world?
Yeah, so we work with a lot of different industries, a lot of highly regulated industries like financial services, life sciences, and also a lot of industries where quality is paramount to their services in manufacturing or business services for that matter. But I think the financial services industry, like many similar sort of regulated industries, is that there's a lot of uncertainty, I think, in some cases around how AI can be misused or how AI could not exactly leak information, but obviously information that is sensitive to their organization might be used in a public forum. But I think there is this fear of unknown at this stage in a lot of the financial services organizations that we've worked in around adopting AI. If you look at a lot of the large investment companies and banks, they are fundamentally technology companies now. The way that they use technology in their businesses, technology is core to what they do compared to what traditional banks were 30, 40 years ago. They were relationship organizations, but now they're fundamentally technology companies. So I think a lot of the banks that are more forward thinking and actually have a good grasp around the capabilities of AI, not only in the use of AI and the data that it uses, and the infrastructure that maintains them and obviously services them. Those companies that have a good handle on that, or financial services organizations that have a good handle on that, were the ones that will take advantage of it first. But I think data is a big part of the decision, and information attached to AI is a big part of that decision. A lot of financial services organizations, and life sciences organizations are going through a similar position as well. But yeah, it's their ability to understand and adapt. I think those are the ones that are going to take advantage. Yeah, and just like any technology change, these financial services organizations, either fintech right up to large investment banks, their ability to adapt and adopt the AI, that could be the difference between making it and not making it.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with you. And I think I heard this analogy the other day, and they said that the people who are not looking to actually adopt it will be the ones on the highway on the horse.
Yeah.
And the people that's looking to adopt will be the ones in the Lamborghinis on the same highway. And it's different speeds on this, and this we can't really compare, to be honest. And that's why
Yep.
kind of we want to start this podcast as well, because we really believe that adopting AI can have such an incredible impact on your business and can have such
Yes.
incredible capabilities. But I was going to ask, Matt, where does AI deliver the biggest lift today? Is it code suggestions, test generations, detection prevention? That's kind of how I want to get your insights.
I think it's evolving quite rapidly. Like if you look at what generative AI first did when it first came on the scenes, it was all about the prompt. It was all about how you can engineer the right prompt and what context you can give to AI to get the right or response that you're looking to support and actually use or make a decision. Now it's obviously the sources of data that it has access to in doing that process. So, for example, in our AI agent, one of our AI agents has the capability to interrogate the Salesforce platform and then figure out, based on the requirement that it's got from the business, how to build it. So it actually can analyze what's currently there and then make suggestions on that change. So that could be a series of code to say, right, okay, to meet this requirement, you need to build this piece of code to do what you want it to do. And then what it can do is once it understood what's been built, it'll go ahead and test it. So the ability to take action and do particular tasks that might have been done by a human, that is becoming more and more so a part of the platform now, where the people within the process, their roles are still very important because they're the ones making decisions, and I still see that we continue to be a big part of AI, of obviously humans making decisions based on information that's provided to them, obviously in executing tasks or a series of tasks, or tasks that happen behind the scenes based on that automation. So yeah, so we're seeing the augmentation of building code, testing code, releasing code, but also more importantly, analyzing what you need to change. Because in a lot of these big Salesforce customers that have big platforms, they're big, really complicated environments. And in some cases, it takes a person days and days to figure out what should I change based on this requirement, whereas AI can interrogate it and suggest changes based on what's already there. But I think AI will continue to advance into bigger sources of information. But I think where AI is heading, I believe, which I think is important, is how is AI integrated into your everyday working? So is it sitting on an application that sits over there? Is it embedded in your current application? Is it sitting inside Teams or Slack? Is it sitting in where you currently work today to actually take advantage of it? That kind of element of usability and what an agent is. Well, if you define what an agent is in terms of it's fundamentally someone that is an AI capability that's sitting within your workflow that can actually deliver things that you want. I think that next stage, and I was talking with a colleague of mine the other day about it, is I think naturally the next step will be you'll be talking to the agent rather than chatting to an agent with prompts, and how they can interrogate you rather than you interrogating it is obviously where it's heading. So I'm also I'm showing my tech geekiness now, but I'm really excited by what the partnership between OpenAI and Johnny Ive, what that will bring. And obviously, Johnny Ive will obviously having a huge impact in the world of smartphones and tablets and the desktop computer, where AI can be augmented into your personal world, your professional world. I think that's yeah. We don't know what it looks like, but I think it's going to be cool, whatever it is. But how agents and AI will evolve to be part of your team, part of your workflow within what you do as your role, or what workflows across the organization. That's exciting.
And I think what's quite exciting is it's not even just business, it's also your own personal life as well, which you're going to see such big transformations as well. But and
Yes.
I got a lot of positive faith in it, but I'm just hoping we're not in iRobot situation. But I like to think we're years from that for sure.
Yeah. No. Yes. Like every now and then you think of Terminator and movies like that where you think that the worst case scenario could happen. But I think how we're evolving with AI as a society, and obviously in business technology in particular, I think we'll. I think what I'm trying to say is I think we'll survive.
I think so as well.
I think we as a society will work how to benefit from it and really kind of shape the future. But it is exciting, and yeah, it is a bit scary at the same time. But just like any technology, it was as well. And I like your analogy earlier, but I think if you look back to a lot of step changes in technology, if you look back to the horse and buggy when cars became obviously mainstream, within the space of 5 years, you went from cities that were full of horse and carts to the space of 5 years where there was no horse and cart and just cars everywhere. I think AI is going to have a similar impact in terms of how we think, how we operate, how we collaborate with one another, how we communicate. I truly believe it's going to be bigger than the internet.
Yeah, they do tend to say history repeats itself. So I feel like we're entering that again.
Yeah. And also to interject there as well, I was actually reading something the other day, and I was touching on for people who are looking to study degrees in AI. They're saying by the time you actually finish the course, it'll be a bit too late because AI is moving at such a rapid pace that if you're studying for 3-4 years, it'll be a complete different subject you need to actually be learning. So it's crazy, honestly.
It is. I think one of the first, this new role of a prompt engineer, I think that's probably one of the first that might go based on the way that we interact with AI in the future. I think that will fundamentally change. So, but yeah, who knows? So yeah, you're right. Obviously, the roles that are going to come out in the next few years, we don't know what they are at all.
No, that's true. And Matt, just before we do wrap up, I can sense that we're on the topic of excitement and joy in terms of like what's next to come for artificial intelligence. But what are you most excited to build in the next coming years or in the next few months?
I think the difference between the next few months and the next 10 years is a huge leap in terms of years. Sorry. Yeah. No. I think that's even hard as well, to be honest, based on the way that AI is developing. And I think there's a lot of things that will change. Obviously, Salesforce themselves have really embraced AI through their Agentforce platform, and they're getting a lot of success in getting Agentforce into a lot of companies and embedding agents within companies that can augment roles, but also service customers and service suppliers and other key parts of the workflows within their organization. I think where AI can further augment across the businesses. I think that the key thing is how AI can interact and collaborate and be part of the team, because obviously your team members will still exist, your business units will still exist. How it's augmenting in those roles, like Mark Benioff famously has said many times over the last 3 or 4 months, that AI agents will be part of the team. They will be in the org chart of your organization. They will have an email address and a Slack address, just like anyone in the organization. So that AI workforce, how that evolves and how that augments the people within the organization, that's the interesting thing that I'm excited by, because not only it's the productivity gains that people will get in terms of what they're producing as individuals, or as most commonly you're working with your team members to bring things to market, or bring changes within the organization, or achieve sales goals. It's always a team. It's not an individual. Obviously individuals are important, but it's the team that makes it. But fundamentally, I think it will enable us to be a lot more creative in our thinking and our risk taking, because the AI will be able to free up a lot of the stuff that a lot of people just don't like doing, and enable you to be a lot more creative and take risks that probably in a lot of cases can be controlled a lot better. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's going to be a next level of creativity from organizations, from everyone, because of AI being able to free that up.
Yeah, no, definitely. I completely agree with you. So as mentioned, yeah, definitely very exciting times ahead for sure. But Matt, this has been a very, very insightful conversation. I really do appreciate your time. So you kind of gave us a masterclass in scaling Salesforce intelligence, and also to learn more about Copado, please visit their website as well. But Matt, much appreciate for your time today. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been great. I could talk about this topic for hours, but thank you again, and yeah. Thank you.
We might have to get you on another episode next year just to see how things have changed.
We'll call that part 2.
I love that. I'd love to come back to do a recap and a revisit. So yeah, I think it's going to be in 12 months. We'll be saying, remember we talked about this, and we'll be living it, or something else that will pop out that we never thought of. So it's there's a book called The Black Swan. I don't know if you guys have read it. It's based on the premise that you can't forecast the future, but it's the ones who embrace it are the ones that embrace unpredictability are the ones that make the future. So it's an interesting book, and it's a few years old now. It's probably close to 20 years now, which I'm my age. But yeah, it's this. I think it's how the future is played out is not typically forecasted.
No, perfect. And I think I'll have to give that book a read for sure. But yeah, as I said, Matt, much appreciate your time today. And this is the Navvai Shift, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Matt.